Hi everyone, and welcome to Sweet Pea Seeds Inspirations. My name is Sydney and welcome to Friday's update. Thank you for being here, whether this is your first time or many times to the channel. I greatly appreciate you guys and thank you for stopping by. So last week I was talking about how I was gifted a Sentro knitting machine from my husband as an early Christmas gift, and how I've been wanting to make some hats and donate those to some kind of charity or the homeless shelter or whatever that we have around my community. I still have to do a little bit more research, but I have been working on some hats, and that was the main thing that I did want to accomplish this week. And my overall goal is to do at least one hat a day. So within a year time period, I will have 365 hats, and that way I can donate those. So last week I had on my knitting machine was this pink hat. I have finally got this one completed, and some hats I have with me and some hats I do not. I did make two hats, one for my daughter and one for my husband. I currently do not have those to share with you guys, but I did make one for him and one for her. And then I made another hat, which was in this navy blue. It was with red heart, and this is where I started having some issues. I researched and I was starting to get a lot of tuck stitches and drop stitches, and I think I know with the Sentros, they do not like red heart, or some people have even said they do not like Hobby Lobby's I Love This Yarn. But I did some research to try to figure out what exactly I could do to work with those type of yarns on my Sentro, because that's mainly what I do get, being that I don't really like to spend a lot of money on yarn. But the main thing that I have been able to find for myself in my knitting machine, I know they're very nitpicky and it depends on one machine to the other one. I have found with the red heart, if you have it on the most tightest tension, then it works perfectly fine. If I go to a moderate tension, then that's when it wants to tuck the stitches and or drop stitches, which is a little bit of the pain in the butt to really try to fix. So that was kind of what I figured out with my knitting machine that might work for you if you have one and or currently going to be getting one in the future. Then that might help you and it might not. So that's kind of what I've been able to figure out with mine. So there's two hats, and then this one I did a short on, and you can see where the tuck stitches, what was happening here. It starts off fine, and then all of a sudden it wants to tuck the stitches like almost halfway through. So, but I think I finally figured out what exactly I needed to do with mine. And then this is another one, which I do have which you can see right there, and I talked about in my craft room tour, that this is the same yarn that I used for that hand woven blanket. So it's kind of cool how depending on what you're doing with a type of yarn, how it turns out. So that one's striped, but that one is kind of almost like a retro look. So I think those are all the hats that I currently have fully completed right now. I do have one on my Sentro machine that I'm going to be making for myself, and this is how it's turning out so far, and I will unravel it a little bit so you can actually see how the colors are playing out. I've had this yarn for quite a while now. Well, not quite a while, but at least over a year, which is Hobby Lobby's. I'm not exactly sure. I think it was Lakefront maybe, but I've wanted to do something with this yarn, but haven't figured it out. And so I just figured I'd put it on the knitting machine and run with it. So that's what I'm doing, and that one's going to be for me. And then also, I haven't got this one fully completed, but I also used, I think this was also Hobby Lobby's yarn. I couldn't even tell you what colorway it is, but I still have to finish this one, and I did have to use a little bit of a gray color to finish it off. So there is majority of all the hats that I was able to complete this week. Now, the two other things that I did want to accomplish this week was, last week I talked about how I started a shawl. And there will be a tutorial to this shawl. I have not picked out a name, and if you would like to suggest a name for this shawl, feel free to do that. This will be, like I said, in a tutorial, and more than likely it's going to be a two-part tutorial because the edging or border, trim work, whatever you want to call it, is going to be quite a few rows. So I will be doing a tutorial on this shawl. But this is what I've been able to accomplish so far. I did have to rip some of it out because somewhere along the lines I did mess up, but I'm hoping I can get this done within the next few weeks. It is a more lace weight yarn, so it's going to take a little bit more time to work up than if I was to use a DK or a 4-weight yarn. But I'm hoping to have this tutorial out by sometime in January, if not before January. I doubt that because we're coming up close to Christmas and New Year's, but I would say at least January is when this tutorial will come out. Talking about crochet alongs or two-part tutorials, the mystery crochet along is now fully completed, and you can see it in the background. The final reveal comes out on Sunday, so if you want to see or keep up with how it turned out and exactly what it is, then you'll have to either find out Sunday or come back next Friday, because I will not be revealing on the update of exactly how it looks and how it turned out until the final reveal video has came out. So stick around. Again, that one comes out this Sunday, and I want to thank all of you guys who are participating or have been supporting throughout the process. I greatly appreciate it. So with that one being fully completed on my end, other than the introduction video or introduction for the video, I have been wanting to kind of do a knit along. It's not going to be mystery, but I'm wanting to do a knit along because I haven't done one yet, and I don't do very many knitting tutorials. But I had a friend, which was Rebecca over at Rebecca Touch by Yarn. She asked several months ago if I wouldn't mind making her a wrap, that she would send me the yarn. She finally sent me the yarn, and I've been kind of constructing a few things, trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to do. And I figured a crescent shape knitted shawl wrap would be absolutely wonderful. Now, I'm not going to really share with you guys right now of how it's turning out because I kind of want to keep it as a surprise for her, but there will be a tutorial on the shawl or wrap, and that probably won't be until after the first of the year. But that's really all I have been working on these last few, or not few weeks, but this last week. What are you guys working on? Please feel free to share that down in the comment section with me. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give this video a like, share, comment, or subscribe. And I will see you guys next week.